Welcome to Tyler's Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Today is August the 24th, 2025. We're going to be talking about AEW Forbidden Door. I did not know this thing started like at 3 or at 1, something like that. So I didn't watch the pre-shows. So yeah, I'm sorry for that. But we did get 2 returns. 2 returns. So, ladies and gentlemen, first we got Tom Lawler. I think I know this guy's from MLW. Yeah, he was, I think he was teaming up with Matt Riddle. That's interesting. With Royce Isaacs. Who's Royce Isaac now? I don't know who that is. Sorry, I'm checking pictures. And he defeated Serpentico with Luther. I thought Luther was injured. He wasn't at the Women's Championship match. We had Swerve Strickland. Oh, wait, this is not the right one. This is not the right one. This is the one we're doing. Wrong one. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to the right one. I think I was doing last year's or something. We have Paragon, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Stromberg, and El Doristo. And Yuya Uemura, they defeated the Crew, Leo Rush, and Action Andrade and Don Callis family members, Hikaru, that masked guy, I don't know his name, Josh Alexander, and they had Lance Archer and Rocky Ramone in their corner. It was an 8-man tag team match. Kyle O'Reilly's team won the match. We have the GOA Bishop Khan and Tawa Loa and Ricochet in the trios match. They defeated Jet Speed, Kevin Knight, and Speedball Mike Bailey and Michael Oku. Who's Michael Oku? I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. With Amira Blair. So that's interesting to see that match, I guess. Triangle of Madness. Julia, Sky Blue, and Thicla and Megan Bain with Ford. They defeated Harley Cameron, Chris Statlander, Queen Amante, I say her name wrong, and Will Nightingale. But ladies and gentlemen, during the show, Thicla team won the match, but during the show, we got Thicla and Queen Amante was fighting each other in backstage, and then they fought on where the stage is. But after that, and then Sky Blue and Julia Hart came out to save Thicla and attack Queen. And then we got the return of JB Hater coming out and saving the Queen. Congrats for that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, and then we got the Ops defending their Trios Championship. I thought they're not defending their titles, but they're defending their titles. Shabana, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Samoa Joe versus the Boy Club, War Dogs, Clark Connors, Drill Up Monley, and Robbie X with Guido. The Ops retain the tag team titles. Now the main show, we got Adam Copeland and Christian Cage versus Killswitch and Kip Sabian with Mother Wayne. Kip Sabian is having problems with Killswitch because I guess he can't trust him. He's yelling at him and he's taking himself in, and Killswitch won't stop throwing Kip Sabian at Copeland or at Christian Cage. But ladies and gentlemen, a Sig Spear gets Adam Copeland and Christian Cage to win. Christian Cage asks for a high five, but Adam Copeland wants a hug, Mr. Christian Cage, but he shrugged it off. Said, nope, we're going high five. Ladies and gentlemen, we had Kyle Fletcher with Don Callis defending his TNT Championship. He even had Lance Archer in his corner against Takahashi. For the TNT title, it was a pretty decent match, but over that match was Kyle Fletcher. He retains the TNT Championship. And then we have Mercedes Moné defends her TBS title in a 4-way match against Alex Windsor from AEW and Bozilla from Stardom, and they said their name and I can't say her name. I can't say her name. She's from CMLL. Ladies and gentlemen, I suck at names. I suck at big words. I suck at any words. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of that match is still the champion, Mercedes Moné. Bozella was scary looking, and she's big. And she's like 21 years old, I believe. Here, let me check. I think I'm getting this wrong. Yeah, she's 21 years old, and she's massive and scary. I do not want to be in the same ring as her. But ladies and gentlemen, Mercedes retained the title. We had Zack Sabre Jr. versus Nigel McGuinness with Daniel Garcia for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. I thought Daniel Garcia might turn heel and attack Nigel or cost him the match, but it didn't. I wasn't a big fan of this match because it was all technician. I don't really care for that. I care about the high flying or crazy moves. So I didn't really care for this one because there was a lot of technician, a lot of submissions, and all that stuff. But the winner of that match, the winner of that match, still the champion, is Zack Sabre Jr. And then, ladies and gentlemen, the Hurricane Kid defend their tag team titles in a three-way tag team match against Brody King, and Bandito, and the FTR, Cash Wheeler, and Dax Harwood with Stokely. During the match, it was a pretty okay match, but at the end, some guys came out to attack Hurt Syndicate. They were wearing New Japan Pro Wrestling shirts and attacking the Hurt Syndicate. And then they unmasked themselves. It was Ricochet and GOA attacking the Hurt Syndicate. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there's two things that it could be. It could be MJF asking these guys to destroy Bobby Lashley because Bobby Lashley wants the world title. Remember what MVP told Bobby Lashley? Told MJF, if he wins the world title tonight, Bobby Lashley's coming after you. But remember a long time ago when Ricochet first became a heel, he wanted to be part of the Hurt Syndicate, and then he got rejected. So one of those is why the GOA and Ricochet attacked the Hurt Syndicate. And at the end, we have a botched win because Brody King and Bandito was trying. They did their finishing move, but Bandito stopped pinning. And then he went back for the pin, and he got the winner of that match. And your new AEW World Tag Team Champions, Brody King and Bandito. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have Okada versus Swerve Strickland for the Unified Championship. Pretty decent match, but Swerve kind of hurt his knee. And Okada was just trying to destroy that knee. But Swerve was doing a good job. But remember, nobody's allowed in ringside because it's the Continental rules. No ring-aside interference, but for some reason Don Callis was there because he was on commentary. He was on commentary, but he didn't really do anything anyways. But ladies and gentlemen, the winner of that match and still the Unified Champion was Okada. But Okada wasn't done there. He wedged Swerve Strickland's leg inside the steel steps and starts whacking it with a chair multiple times until Prince Nana came out because he had a pipe in his hand and scaring him off. But you see in the behind Prince Nana, there was a guy coming in the ring. It was Wardlow. He came out and started beating up Prince Nana. And then security guards tried to stop him, and Wardlow destroyed all these security guards. Am I happy to see Wardlow? Not really. Because, remember, he was in the Undisputed Kingdom. It was supposed to be something big for him. He wasn't a big star for the Undisputed Kingdom. He was just a guy. He's like their freaking guard. But we did hear that Wardlow is part of the Don Callis family. He hugged on where the ramp is, and then he started hugging everybody else from the Don Callis family. I don't like how they keep doing this. Every wrestling promotion does the same thing. Stop making big, giant factions because it doesn't help anyone. You saw with TNA with Immortal. It didn't help anyone. Everybody turned into a jobber. except for their top guys that won the world title multiple times, but the other guys never won a championship. Like in Corporation, you had a whole bunch of guys in there, but they never won a title except for their top guys. And what has Josh Alexander, Trent, he wasn't even there, Rocky Romero, that masked man, what have they done? Since they joined the Don Callis family, they've been losing. They lost. A faction is supposed to help people. Help the whole team. But Josh Alexander, when is the last time we saw him win a match? When is the last time we saw Rocky Romero win a match? Like, every time they do these multi-man trios, 8-man tag team matches, those guys lose. So, I don't know what it is, but I'm not a big fan of big, giant factions. Welcome back, Warlow, but I hope he does something. Maybe he will team up with Lance Archer and try to get to the tag titles. Maybe he's a replacement of Brian Cage. I have no idea. We had Toni Storm defending her women's championship against Athena. Remember, she cashed in her contract. She signed the contract. And ladies and gentlemen, she just did a Storm Zero onto Billie Starkz right away outside the ring to knock her out. But it didn't work out because Billie Starkz got back up during this match. But at the end of the match, she was we saw Athena did like the Eclipse. I don't know what they call it in AEW, but she did an Eclipse while Toni Storm was on top of the apron and got her neck snapped on the top rope. So she was dangling on the apron. Billie Starkz was talking trash, and then she was about to whack her with a chair until Mina came out and start making her run. Toni Storm wins the match and retains the title. We had Hangman Adam Page versus MJF. Remember, MJF, now he doesn't have to cash in or use his contract. But if Hangman loses by countout or disqualification, he could still lose the title. He could lose by pinfall, submission, countout, and disqualification. My nose is itchy. So MJF tried to do everything, try and get Hangman to count it out, try to get him disqualified. It didn't work out. But if you guys don't remember how MJF beat Mark Briscoe had his leg on the rope and the referee didn't see it, but MJF still won the match. That was the same thing. The referee got knocked out and he didn't see it. He got 1, 2, 3. He counted, but the referee was still knocked out. He didn't ring the bell. And Hangman Adam Page's foot was still on the rope. But here comes Mark Briscoe trying to tell the referee Hangman's foot was on the rope, but security guard stopped him. And then MJF saw the foot of Hangman on the rope. He was about to knock it off the rope because the referee was still knocked out, but the referee just popped right up and stops MJF. His foot was on the rope. The match still continues. And then MJF tried low blow. Didn't happen. Didn't work. He hit a Hangman with his metal clipboard with his contract. It didn't work. And the referee got distracted, and then Hangman used the clipboard. He did a buckshot lariat, the winner of this match, and still the world champion, Hangman Adam Page. We have the lights out steel cage match. It was gory. There was blood. There was gummy bears. There was a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, we got the Golden Lovers, Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi, Darby Allin, Tanahashi, and Will Ospreay versus Death Riders, Claudio Castagnoli, and Jon Moxley, and the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, and Gabe Kidd with Yuta and Shafir. Ladies and gentlemen, Young Bucks are trying to use thumbtacks, so they brought a bag in, and they poured out gummy bears. Even Jon Moxley and Claudio was upset. What the heck is this? That were supposed to be thumbtacks. Ladies and gentlemen, the most sickening thing is that what Jon Moxley did to Darby Allin's ear. I'm not telling you guys more about it, but that is nasty. And ladies and gentlemen, they were trying to, Tahashi was trying to jump off the cage. They stopped him. But they let the guy that didn't have a hurt neck not jump off the cage, but they let Will Ospreay, the man that is going to have surgery after Forbidden Door, to jump off of the cage and do a moonsault on everybody. That doesn't make any sense. But the crazy part for Darby Allin, there was 2 tables outside of the cage. Jon Moxley got out of the cage because of Wheeler Yuta. He climbed out. Climbing out of the cage doesn't do anything. You don't win the match. It still continues. You have to win by pinfall or submission. So we got Darby Allin and Jon Moxley playing outside the ring. And then Darby Allin puts the body sandwich in between the stacked tables against each other. He climbs on top of the stage and wants to jump on him. Low blowed him. And then they both trust falled right into a table off the steel cage on the other side. Not where the ring is, the other side, where the ramp is. Like, ouchers. It's like watching the TLC match when Dudley Boys fell off the ladder. No, it wasn't the Dudley Boys. Was it the Dudley Boys? I think it was one Dudley Boy and one Hardy Boy. It was one of those things. Got tipped over off the ladder and fell on a stack of tables outside the ring. But this was on a steel cage. The steel cage didn't look like it's a really tall steel cage. You could climb out of it. You could do that much. It was a big giant steel cage. It looked like a Hell in a Cell, but it didn't have a top. But at the end, Will Ospreay's team won the match. They won the match. And everybody had a standing ovation for Will Ospreay. Because we're not going to see him for a while because he's supposed to have surgery on his neck. This is why he had an on-station match. Because he wasn't medically cleared. So he was talking to everybody. I guess they were wishing him well because he's going to be having neck surgery. I heard the rumor that he's getting it after Forbidden Door. But at the end, the Death Riders attack Will Ospreay while his teammates was outside of the steel cage. They locked the steel cage with them inside, and Jon Moxley with the Paragon Shift multiple times on the skull of Will Ospreay. Bang, 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 bang. And then the Ops came out. I don't know why they couldn't climb the cage, but they didn't. Everybody was trying to yell at the producers. The security guards lit the cage up. Jon Moxley puts Will Ospreay's neck into a steel chair and stomps on it. I think that's it for Will Ospreay for a couple of months. They finally risen the cage. The Young Bucks and the Death Riders ran away like a bunch of babies, jumped over the barricade, and there's everybody checking on Will Ospreay. Kenny Omega is upset with the producers, saying there should be already a stretcher and C collar because it's a on-station match, and you know people are going to get hurt, so why you didn't have it else? And you heard Audrey Edwards stop moving the mat because it's hurting Will Ospreay. But ladies and gentlemen, it was crazy. The Lights Out match was crazy. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It was a long show. I have almost an hour until Heatwave comes up. I want to play some of my 2K25 game because I'm getting closer to my WrestleMania. And I have good rivalries and good stories to make with CM Punk and Kevin Owens. They're going to be a team. If you guys didn't know, on my faction, there's a team called Mutiny. And some guys and women has new attires of Mutiny. Like Kevin Owens has a shirt of Mutiny, and CM Punk has Mutiny attire as well. So has Asuka, but I didn't put her in it, or Bailey, because I gave them different partners of that. I was hoping there was other male wrestlers that I could make a faction, but nobody else had the Mutiny shirt on. I thought they did, because it was a big giant group in my faction, but they didn't have it. Some people didn't have it. Maybe I would put the Demon Finn Balor, but the only problem I have is I already have a Finn Balor, so it's kind of weird to have a Demon Finn Balor. But I could say it's an imposter Finn Balor, right? It's a different entrance and a different name. I know it says Finn Balor, but still, it's Demon. I don't know. I don't know what am I going to do with that. But, ladies and gentlemen, I got Cody Rhodes. Never the match that everybody wants to see. Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. I'm making that happen at WrestleMania. We got CM Punk versus Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight title at Mania. That's crazy. He won my Royal Rumble match. Well, technically, I made him win because I want to make this match happen. It was hard to do because I wasn't... almost at the end of the Rumble, this guy was like in the 10s. So it was crazy. So yeah, I can't wait for that, and I can't wait for my Mania. It's going to be an interesting Mania. I can't wait for my WrestleMania to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, I got another idea. I don't know if you guys want to use this. I'm doing a 6-man Hell in a Cell. I can't say the word. A silent match. It's like what Dean Ambrose and Chris Jericho did, but it's going to be a Hell in a Cell. And it's a Mutiny Mania show. It's like my independent wrestling NXT. I have an independent wrestling NXT. I'm using NXT Mutiny as a brand and NXT 2.0 as a brand. But how this match works is going to be a 6-man Hell in a Cell match. But there's going to be 3 Mutiny guys and 3 NXT 2.0 guys. They're not teammates. Just like what they did in Battle Royals and Survivor Series. They had Raw and SmackDown and NXT in it. Or Raw or SmackDown. And it's still every man for themselves. Same thing as this. But whoever wins this Hell in a Cell match, or a silent match, they get a title shot. Crazy match. I can't wait to make it. This is just for my independent wrestling. I'm not doing it for my current WrestleMania. It's my NXT's independent wrestling. I got Will Ospreay in there. I know a tag team I want to make to get the tag team titles. Will Ospreay versus Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega. My tag team in Mutiny at Mania, Mutiny is Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, and my NXT 2.0 is the NXT UK Tag Team titles is La Garza. But Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, they held the tag team titles longer, so it's gonna be a surprise tag team. I don't know what I'm telling you guys, but I'm excited. I haven't made my own little stories in universe mode. I just let the game do it. But now I'm making my little stories, and I'm loving it. And people are upset that, there's no story mode on universe mode, because you could make your own rivalries, your own what happens. But you could make your own story. That's what you do with universe mode. You could make your no one contenderships. You can make your championship matches. It's a free roam of a show you can make. You could make TNA. You could make AEW. You could do whatever you want. I'm doing whatever I want. My current show doesn't have the same champions as the current TV show. My women's tag team champions is not the Judgment Day or Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. It's freaking Blair Davenport and Piper Niven. And my World Heavyweight Champion is the same thing as Raw's one, Seth Rollins, because I want the CM Punk thing. But my World Tag Team Champions is not Judgment Day. It's still War Raiders. They won't stop beating up everybody. And my WWE Tag Team Champions on SmackDown is Jeff Cobb and Solo Sikoa. And my Women's United States champion is Charlotte Flair. Like, seriously, guys, you can do whatever you want. I did something that everybody wanted. Dakota Kai wins the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I made that happen. I'm not taking anyone up because of release. I don't care the release. They still in my current show. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is almost going to be a 30-minute video. So we're getting closer to Heat Wave. Let's see what happens in Heat Wave. Are we going to see any craziness? I think we will. Maybe some TNA stars will show up. Maybe. Who knows? Joe Hendry. Because he has a little problem with Dark State right now. Because he got in the face of those two guys, that faction. Let's see what happens. But that's all for today. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button, leave a comment below, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. I will see you guys tonight for NXT's Heat Wave, or WWE Heat Wave. That's what they call it now. That's all for today. Time is out. Bye, or for now, and see you guys tonight. Bye.